This evening's agenda for the appointment subcommittee is for one item only, item 16244. It's a communication from His Honor the Mayor requesting a waiver of residency rule for Mr. Reuben Kantor, Director of Innovation and Data Management. The members of the subcommittee in attendance are Councillor McKenna, Councillor Patch, and Councillor Keefe. Joining with us also is Councillor Bob Hass. Mr. Mayor.
Can I have,
Councillor Patch.
is he here tonight?
Mr. Chairman, through you to the councillor,
Mayor?
yes, he is.
Oh, can we get a look at him?
He's going to come to the podium
Oh,
as
okay.
soon as the mayor offers his opening remarks. We're going to invite the candidate, Mr. Reuben Kantor, up to the podium. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. As I think the council knows, in our fiscal year 17 budget, there was a new department created, a Department of Innovation and Data Management. Upon taking office, I worked with Reuben quite extensively through the UMass Collins Center. He was hired through the Collins Center under the previous administration. When we started working together, it was clear that his talent was enough to make me want to create an Office of Innovation and Data Management. And having some experience in that kind of office in my previous experiences at a different community, I understood what it would take to have somebody that would be able to do that job and do it very, very well. Reuben came, as I said, through the UMass Collins Center, and he has actually worked with our Inspectional Services Department quite extensively. And he's actually put together a great work plan, and he can go into the details of it a little bit more, but he's actually been able to put our ISD inspectors on a schedule, create a database that tracks all of the work that they're doing, and it's been a huge asset, and you can just ask our Inspectional Services Director, Nick Guinasso, about his work. So with the position that we created in the budget this year, this was a position that's going to be very important to the city and very important to my office, and hope to have your support.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. At this time, I'd like to offer up to the podium Mr. Reuben Kantor. Mr. Kantor, this is going to be repetitive, but I'm going to ask you to state your name and address for the record, please.
Reuben Kantor. I live at 27 Robinwood Avenue, apartment 3 in Jamaica Plain.
Jamaica Plain.
Yep.
Welcome, sir. And now, obviously, what the event that you're up here for is for a residency waiver.
Yep.
Are you ever going to seek housing in Revere?
I guess I cannot say that I intend to. At the moment, I've been living in Jamaica Plain for about 17 years, and I've built a community there, so I do like where I live.
Okay.
But I am extremely honored at the opportunity to be working here in Revere. I think it's a really exciting opportunity, an exciting city, and I don't think that my residency should play a role in how I feel about this city and this job.
Okay. And joining us also is Councillor Morabito, who's also a member of the subcommittee. Any members of the subcommittee wishing to speak, I'll allow them to speak first, and then all those other members of the city council who have joined us, they will also can speak also. So any members of the subcommittee first? Any? Mr. Councilor Patch.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Actually, my questions are for the mayor. Did we do that worldwide search in Revere first before we go elsewhere to look for somebody to fill the job?
Well, luckily, Councilor, we were in my work with Reuben. It was clear that the qualifications that he had were far above, I think, anyone that I could have handpicked. And I did handpick Reuben because of his qualifications. his experience at Harvard University at the Kennedy School, his experience at UMass Collins Center. He has been working with municipalities, making them run better, making them run more efficiently. And I knew when I created the job, or created the Office of Innovation and Data Management, that I had Reuben in mind for that position.
Just what are some of the job descriptions?
Sure, so Reuben his main job is going to be getting a 311 system up and running, which is something that I've talked to the council an awful lot about. And when we discussed the Innovation and Data Management Office, it's clear that that would be the #1 goal, is to get a 311 up and running in the city of Revere. Reuben's actually done that for 2 communities. So to have somebody with that kind of experience to be able to come and bring his talent to the city of Revere is extraordinary.
What is the salary going to pay?
The salary will be $85,000 a year. And that will be deferred. There is state grant money that the city has received to help defer some of the costs to the city.
All right, well, I'm sure he's, no disrespect to the gentleman, but, I Googled him too, and to me, he's more of a campaign manager than anything else. How many, I can ask him, how many campaigns have you ran over the last few years?
So I have worked on a number of campaigns, but I would say the last campaign that I ran seriously was in 2009. So I have been working in government. I worked in the city of Boston for the city council president. I worked at the Department of Industrial Accidents for 2 years. I went to the Kennedy School. I have worked at the Collins Center for 2 years. So I would say that over the last 10 years, most of my work has been in government and not in politics.
Okay. Well, Mr.
Councilor
Chairman,
Patch.
the only thing I got to say is the last 2 years, as far as waivers go, I didn't mind giving Omar a waiver because he's supposedly searching for a house here in Revere. For the last 2 years, all I did was hear several of my colleagues just beat up on part-time labor at the library or somebody else that lived outside the city, and now we got these. Seems like everybody that comes before us now lives outside the city, and nobody seems to care anymore. So I am probably not going to vote in favor of this because I would like to see a Revere resident get hired for the job. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank
Mr.
you,
Chairman,
Councilor Patch.
can I just add
Mayor-
one?
Mayor Arrigo.
Just one note. I will say that we have probably posted more jobs than any administration has publicly. We've been going through a rigorous process in terms of interviewing, and the people who are getting hired are Revere residents. There are 2 individuals so far that I've come up and asked for a residency waiver, and in full kind of transparency and being upfront with the council. I know that there are not very many people who can do the job of Director of Innovation and Data Management and do it well. And Reuben, again, was my pick. That's what a chief executive gets to do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Any other members of the subcommittee wishing to speak? Councilor Keefe.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This question is more for Mr. Kantor, if you would mind stepping up. So, you work currently, or you had worked with Collins Center and worked with the city of Revere already?
Yes, I did.
And to what extent?
So I started working in Revere in the winter of 2015. Most of my work was in inspectional services, building them some data systems, and then I ended up helping build sort of a systematization of how they were doing their functioning, how they were doing their work, especially on the sanitation side. So I was involved in building a database with the help of the D'Ambrosio Brown outside counsel, and then worked with Nick and the whole team there to really think through how we did not just initial inspections, but creating a system of follow-ups, prioritization, having a list of problem properties. I think that it would be really good if we had an opportunity, me and along with Nick and others, to come before the full council and really share with you sort of the whole system that we put together, because I think it's pretty comprehensive and really impressive. But I think that we did work there that's going to have a tremendous impact for the city of Revere. And I started this work under the previous mayor and continued it. I was really pleased to continue it under the current one.
Thank you. And while at the Collins Center and working with Revere, were you exclusively working with the city of Revere, or were you working with other cities as well?
I was working with a number of other cities. I could name them. I have some concern about just getting into too much detail about the work in other cities, but I was working in Saugus. I worked in Everett, Haverhill, Hopkinton, a couple others, and I'm forgetting them right now, but those were my main clients.
And would you solely be working for the city of Revere moving forward?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Keefe. Councilor Morabito.
Thank you. Mr. Kantor, what's going to be your first initiative as Director of Innovation?
Well, number one priority is definitely the 311 center. So figuring out where it's going to go and then putting that together. You know, what I see happening right now in Revere is there are a lot of systems. The See-Click-Fix, which I'm sure many of you used, doesn't talk to any of the other data systems that the city is using, whether it's the facility dues system that the Public Works system is using, the new one that ISD has, some of the other ones. So really trying to create more of a comprehensive constituent service office that consolidates all that, the services into one place and ensures top quality service for the constituents, the residents, and then making sure that the software programs are talking to one another so that we're not manually re-entering all kinds of data, but that, you know, if somebody enters in a request, it is immediately going to your Public Works or your inspectional services, and that they know they have that request and there's a timeline associated with that request. So I think those are some of the initial priorities. And then I think thinking through some of the other systems. Are there processes that are in place that are paper-based that could be electronic, like sort of bringing Revere and some of the City of Revere processes into the 21st century is going to be really a top priority. And then one of the things that we've already been working on is these departmental cluster meetings. And so one of the things we're doing is bringing project management software into the city so there's better communication between the departments and the mayor's office, so that if they have things they need from us and we have things that we need from them to move projects forward, that we have that, and it's not all lost among the thousands and thousands of emails that get sent around the city every day. So those will be some of the initial things that I think I'll be working on.
Thank you. I think it's about time Revere gets up to date with its technology. And I welcome you aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Morabito. Councilor Keefe again.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Apologies, I just had another
problem.
question. You were talking about adding some new systems. We currently have a few systems in place, the See-Click-Fix and Work Daddy. I forget the name of it.
The
but-
Facility Dude.
Facility Dude, pardon me. Will a consolidation, will this save the city money, or will this help with this creating some better systems? Are we going to be able to see some sort of a savings having something like?
I think we will. So I need to run the numbers to be absolutely sure and get quotes from some of the systems. But from the work I did in some other communities around 301 software, I think in the end there'll be a net savings on the data systems from what we're using now.
Any other councilors wishing to speak? I'll take a vote of, before you speak, sir, I would like to just offer the words of congratulations and confidence. And what we're trying to do here, is, Mr. Kantor, is determine what's best for our community. And through the eyes of the mayor, he made the selection of you. Now, the proof is in the pudding. You have to produce, because you'll have a lot of watchful eyes reviewing the process as it goes along. And certainly, I know through the efforts of the mayor and his administration, he will keep us updated as to what projects are ongoing and under your direction and how the city proceeds in an orderly fashion to warrant a new position and yet get some gain for our community. So I just think that's the direction that we're all looking for. Mr. Kantor?
I appreciate that, and I expect pretty much
Okay. Any other councilors wishing to speak? Hearing none. Former Councilor William Bell.
William Bell, 235 Revere Street, Revere, Mass. I've kind of mixed feelings on this gentleman because at least he was honest enough, unlike some other people that came before the city council, to say he's not going to move into Revere. I'm the one that put the Revere residency clause in. There was no such thing as a waiver when I put it in, and it was voted upon unanimously at the time by the city council. I remember the question being asked what the salary was, and the gentleman, someone responded 85,000.
That's correct.
Is that before any state grants, or is that a flat $85,000? Does any?
Mr. Mayor.
As I said, when I mentioned the 85,000, that would be deferred. A portion of state money will help pay that $85,000.
So my
the
question
the
is,
His
85
salary is going to be
total.
$85,000 a year.
2016. So the gentleman's had past experience, so he's got longevity coming to him also, I imagine.
There's no longevity as he was not a previous employee of the city.
That's a little.
I think he was contractual.
I'm opposed to this. There's 55,000 people living in the city of Revere. I'm not a genius when it comes to computers, but I think if the job was advertised, the mayor, I appreciate his candor saying that's the gentleman he wanted. I can take it that the position wasn't advertised, correct? So I remember last year's campaign, it was supposed to be a better Revere. I don't think it's fair to the people that do have technical knowledge and political ability and innovative abilities that are out there, that they weren't given the opportunity to apply for this job. It's not right. It really is. You people represent us. I and many thousands of people watching are tired of it. We want Revere jobs first for Revere people. If the job was for a brain surgeon, you didn't have one in Revere, I could go along with that. But if you approve this tonight, it's your prerogative, and I respect all your positions this year. If you approve this, that means you're giving in and saying all those young people in the past that got awards from the city council don't have any abilities whatsoever to fill this position. That's all I have to say. So I'm opposed to it, for the record. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Councilor Bell. Any other members of the audience wishing to speak? Seeing and hearing none, I'll take a vote of the subcommittee, and then we'll take a vote of the entire council if we so wish. I'll go in order. Councilor Keefe.
Yes.
Councilor McKenna.
Yes.
Councilor Morabito.
Yes.
Councilor Patch.
No.
The chair says yes. Any other members of the city council wishing to speak? Council President Janino.
I wish as well.
I'm sorry?
I wish to as well.
You wish to speak? You're going to vote. I already offered an opportunity to speak. Now we're voting, so we're in the vote.
Okay,
You
just
can
didn't,
vote.
you
I
didn't
off-
say that. That's why I just stood
I
up to
offered
speak.
anyone wishing to speak in the council. Council President Janino.
Yes.
Council Bob Hass. Councilor Ira Novoselsky.
Yes.
Councilor George Rotundo.
No.
Okay. Madam Clerk, would you read the vote?
Of the committee members?
Of all. Oh, well, you can read the committee member recommendation first to the committee of the whole, but since there's more than a majority of the council here, it's a, We have to take it up at the regular city council meeting, absolutely.
Only the members of the committee are voting members.
Okay, okay. So you have that recorded?
Yes.
So it's been voted?
Members of the committee voting were Councillor Keefe voting yes, Councillor McKenna voting yes, Councillor Morabito voting yes, Councillor Patch voting no, and Chairman Guinasso voting yes.
Okay, thank you. Yes, ma'am?
Hit the button, please.
This is my first time here. So you mean to tell me all the residents here, I'm the only one that disagrees who believes you should live in the city and work in the city? Nobody, everybody's for that? How many people in this room believe that you do not have to live in the city to work for the city? Why is it too late?
Can I just offer a point of information? I thought I was slow and deliberate when I asked anyone who wanted to speak, and that opportunity had already come and
Oh,
gone.
well, I didn't know that.
And, well, I did say it, and a counselor asked to speak on the issue after I'd already made the statement. If any counselors wanted to speak, and he abided by the council rules, so I'm going to ask you to do the same. We've already voted on the matter, and it's going to come up to the committee of the whole this evening.
Why didn't anybody speak? So you don't-
Thank you for your input, but we're going by the letter of the law and the council procedures. And this closes the appointment subcommittee of the meeting of September 12, 2016. Thanks for your attendance.